Well, it looks like our private sector has been growing expansionally on the communication interference position program settings. Boy, there's a lot to be said, eh? Oh my goodness, so much going on right now, so much expansion. It's unbelievable how I'm grasping line centers opposition to computer operation interference, position location to computers, high channeling all levels of simulation graph conditions, 5,000 channel line interference. It's crazy what's going on right now with the mind conceptual line. It's all positioned to all track interconnections. So today, hope everybody's doing well. Before getting to your questions, very powerful TikTok where it's all connections, how everything in the word of spreading position to spiritual connection is forming in highline centers to more vector units, quadrant level system, to its alliance coming into levels of the galactic forces, the GFLs, and everything, the rebellion. Alliance to communication cycles, how everything comes into back balance, location, the present line interference, position location times pi times square, calculation modifications, all levels of your T reception line interference, position locations. So last night, I set up a very powerful video on TikTok. I'm pretty sure you guys have been watching them all the time, where this girl came on and basically was spreading the word. If you've never seen this guy, you should check him out. I don't understand him. He's all universal languages. What's going on? So it was really fascinating. So basically, what I did was timeline the signal to the FYP. It's got over 2,300 in one day of views. That's how you do these things, the manifestations. You can do anything that you want. You can track line centers. You just have to understand your computer line center position to its followers, to its algorithm line center, to TikTok in communication. Now that forces guidance to communication line centers to wire position line interference locations. But it's amazing how you can actually do these things through its equation. See? Look at that. Isn't that amazing? It's incredible, I'm telling you. It's incredible when you can do these things. Last night with the private sector was great. We were connecting all of the positions to the T-Force Line Center. It's coming to position line conditions. I got complication line center and position locations, the email from Airbender. Congratulations, Airbender. I'm going to activate line center. You're going to go into 16 line center rotation interference positions. I got confirmation from Vega. Vega is getting more communications, a thumbs up. So it's amazing how I see the track line center position locations at high positions on so many levels of planets. It's incredible force. It's like, yay, all right, great. Now he's going past the 50 track line center. Now we go into 60 location positions. All right, so what I'm going to do is we're going to get in your questions. And before we get started, I'm going to uprise all those positions of Airbender. Okay, so Airbender, make sure you drink your water. I'm going to activate your light centers. This is going to put you out of the allocate position locations in the stratosphere. Time lock center and position locations, putting you in the biosphere line center locations. Getting into your grounds is the most important thing, guys. We've gone in this before, the triangle line interference position locations. If you guys want to understand all levels of questions, just go to all levels of TikTok, okay? Set up the plateau line centers with connections with Dawn, where she's trying to understand more what's going on with the calculation. She was missing the grounds of the clocking. It's all about coming into triangle line interference, position locations. The prothesis and then the gamma line center and position locations opens up all track line center conditions. Now, I don't expect anybody to watch all levels of me to the track line center to my universal voice grid location because of high positions on so many levels of calculation. But it's important to understand to get into more of you through practice first. Get into you through your universal language. Not trying to understand me, understand you first when you go through activation system. Also, too, I'm going to be a feature panel, okay, on position line connections of Linda Light. She's a very powerful channel. She was on the Galactic Force team, and she's in a very powerful light connections. So if you want to check that out, January 23rd, it's on a Sunday between 9 PST position locations to 3 hours of panel. So I'm going to be featured. All right, so check that out. So things are spreading like you wouldn't believe. Make sure you drink your water. Mostly important. Okay, so before we get into the whole structure line interference, you guys understand your phase direction of timeline center rotations. Your ground line center is clocking in positions. You guys are coming to more and more through form, especially when you go to higher level systems. All right, it's allocate position of time. So try to sequency every single time you get up in the morning. Say to yourself, okay, so how do I clock my system? What do I have to do to make myself feel balanced so I don't get shock waves or sonic interference or anything to high positions of the sun or allocate position timeline centers or calculations of the moon? It's all about understanding not to get in positions of Waldo. Now, we already know that position locations, or never ever forget the baby in position like conditions. So all level system to connections, all levels of you. 4 track line centers, 5 within the activation, 6 within the core line conditions, 7 within the body track line interference. It programs all levels of you through the console level system. That's the allocated positions of birth lines, guys. You guys are coming into a whole different level of DNA structure. Okay, you're coming into all positions of your avatars. Right, congratulations on that. But it gets harder because electrical line system has to truly understand you through all levels of metal face communication interference, hologram structure line centers, or computer opposition line conditions. So try to find a way to use this sequence to position locations to laser direction line center in ground position of clocking. So this is what it is. You get up in the morning and say, okay, I want to structure my line center clocking interference to my grounds, right? Check, 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 check. You check in your grounds, powers, and the atmospheres. Now, you check those 3 line centers first because that sets up the spine position to your timeline center. In calculations, everything is in between. As long as you have the graph line center structure locations, you're in positions of the eyes of the lamp. Third eye position line conditions, eye receptor interference, audio track line centers. Make sure your ears are working to high positions. Make sure your eyes are in perception of seeing line connections. And everything through the heart is understanding you through thought, direction of time. Communication through its program line setting. First position locations, we got into the inner line center of the child. That calculates and modifies all levels of you through travel, puts you into higher position locations of your human vessel. That programs your positions in the spectral lights. The velocity channels or interference position locations opens up all track line center to your calculation conditions, right? So that's the important thing you have to find. You have to find your own universal language of computer ops. The psycholine interference positions, okay? The psychosis locations, the psychological system of you when you get up in track system locations, right? So find a way to get into marking your system, your territories and connections and security barriers. So you're protecting yourself, you're putting your e-fields up before you go to work or whatever you do, right? Make sure you get your grounds of clocking and you'll be fine. All right. Okay, so let's get into Airbender. Okay, track line center position locations. He's off cycle. Let's change his physical line interference. Take all disposition program line centers out of calculation modifications. Reframe, readjust, refocus. Recalibrate line center calculation modification systems. Time line center, calculate modified position location. Let's use 7,000 line center locations, interference position, clocking ground center position, times pi times square. Calculate modify. Put him in the hologram structure location of his avatar communication line center of 60 communications. Yes. Track line centers and coloration line channels are coming in to allocate position your time frame positions. Back to the sun, back to the moon. Congratulations, Airbender. You're at 60 chakra communications. Woo-ah! All right. So Airbender, make sure you drink your water, my friend. You're now at 60. You're above the 50 track line center, so welcome. So you're in position with the galactic forces now. Okay. And this is all about understanding different lines, different platforms, different sequences, different time to condition lines. You have to understand all positions. The one thing that doesn't change is 3, 6, and 9. That stays with you, which is great. It doesn't change in any ways and form because everybody has to go through the same process. That's the upgrading cycle, birthing system positions of E equals MC squared to its positions of 3, 6, and 9, guys. That's why we have positions of private sectors and we meet in opposite locations, all right? Tracking line centers or interference to position locations to understand how to calculate modified line conditions to your universal language of you. Solar text division line interference to position programs. Getting anything you want through manifestation line system locations. But you have to understand the operation of you first before you understand the operation of you position locations through the universe. The universe is there for you. You just have to learn how to use it, right? And the best way, the best value. Okay? You have to have your self-esteem on so many high levels of channels. These are the things you get through connections of rocket surface. See the rocket? See the light stream? You have to understand the core line center. This is a core line center of rock surface position locations, right? So it's surfacing where? Where's it surfacing? If I'm in the center line center, I'm in the diamond core positions, I'm in my tetrahedral locations, like at the Merkaba and the tesseract line system. It's activated the line center rotation interference position location. You guys got to get into your finger points, right? Identification line centers, positions, user track line interference, position line connections, high positions, bring it in, put it out, allocate position, time frame position. So it's trying to understand how to use both finger line connections in same sequence locations. If it's off channel in position, that's okay, because you're going to higher level system that there's line center rotation. Remember, when you go to higher level position location, the auto track line center position is no longer in, it's out. So it's all about understanding XT thousands coming from outer line in, inner in, position location, Z graph line, interference positions, clock line center conditions. It's all positions in the view through track system. That's what we got to all understand. But the one platform that does not change is 3, 6, and 9. Okay. 3 is always going to be positions of the sun. 6 is always going to be positions of the moon. And 9 is always going to be positions of you. So this is a Trinity standing when you line see when I think of position locations where psychic babes was coming to calculation modifications to program setting in high line connection, how she bid all level rotations. When you guys go through my email, it goes in calculation modifications. So high position locations, we go in this track line center position, okay? So 3 here, 6 here, 9 here, all right? So it's all about understanding it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Once you go higher, you can rotate. You can rotate your shapes and geometric line interference. The metric line center positions put you more in your GPS track line center in allocated position of time, 3, 6, and 9. Okay, so you can put 3 up here, bring 6 here, and put 9 there. All right. So what happens is it changes the shape. Okay, it changes the shape, right? It changes the shape. It goes wherever it wants to go, but it's always going to be in 3, 6, and 9. Okay. Now, the more you go higher, the more the clocking system goes faster through you. The allocated position of time, your heart reactor changes the borderline center. So in position, when you guys get into all levels of the GFLs and everything, the rebellion, you guys are going to go to higher levels of synchronous locations of the mind. The adaptation circle to position location is going to allocate your time positions to its line system location. All right. So this is a turn is standing when you travel the direction of the timeline center, how you just go through this line connection. It's very simple. Then you go to higher line position locations, tunnel interference positions, round line centers, optical line interference, secure line defense, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 12 right there, right? So 3 can be here, 3 can be here, and 3 can be here. Now you're probably confused now, right? Where's the 6 and the 9? So these are 3 different positions of the sun. All right. This is very, very advanced, guys. Okay. The moon is always there. You just don't see it, right? This is Trinity standing. It's not worrying about Waldo. Waldo you don't have to worry about because either he's changing his clothes ever so often, but it doesn't matter through track line center. So if you bring in the sun position locations, you can have 333, you can have 666, you can have 999. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you're always in position of your center position, the ground line center, is in position locations to your flux capacitor location. Okay. So it's a complicated issue, right? But that's the Trinity standing. You can value an all level rotations to your shapes, right? Tetrahedral line center position locations, high position location line conditions. There's your tetrahedron. This is a basic one to allocate timeline center, right? Now, every time you change positions, you can have 3 here. You start with the numbers, right? Once you go to higher reach line centers, you get out of your position locations of all levels of your avatar and you come into your computer lines. Now, it splits position line centers. Once you go high to reach position digital framing, the numbers disappear. You come into the simulation. That puts in a graph interference. So 3 here, 3 here, 3 here, 3, 3 here. All right, 3, 3, 3, 3. This comes into a diamond line center. This comes into north. This comes into west, east, and south. Okay. So it gets complicated as it goes. So you can travel direction timeline center, take it out as equation line center, position location to its division. All right. So it gets complicated as we go line center. So it could be on the northeast line center of the sun. It could be on the east-west line center of the moon, or it can be track line center positions of 3 line conditions. All right. So are we all confused now? Let's get into your questions before we start here. All right. How's everybody doing? Make sure you get your grounds every morning, guys. Just find a way to use your universal language. All right, Tina, how's it going? Yep. Well, I wanted to send you that. That was 2 years ago when I was connecting with Father Space and Mother Earth. How basically Sacred Flame, Zehra and I, were connecting to the grounds. I don't know if you guys noticed, but the very first minutes of that video, of that trailer that you just finished watching, did you hear the force field? That's the connection. That's where I blocked everything out. I was in an energy bubble. And you can actually hear. Once you guys go higher level, you're going to hear. So it's really, really understanding frequency line centers of computer applications. Using those rhythm patterns, use that through the chakra line center. Once you applicate those line position locations, it will merge its position to vibration line center to all levels of the subjective locations. Meridian status position locations, how to use your light track interference position to your ground line connections. All right. So Jenna, how's it going? Kitty Cat, how's it going? Airbender, Lieutenant. All right. Yeah. All right. Let's see. I'm just driving the car. Regression. Okay, but I'll be here. You guys. Yes, very, very powerful. At least we got a sequence interference and we can switch it around. Okay. And I believe there's another one coming after my school. So right after. So hopefully when connection to second command can give you the information. All right. Yes, I love it. I just sent I got it already, our vendor. So make sure you drink your water. I discussed last night the people coming on. Yep, new people coming in the position locations. As long as you understand the platitude line center to AI positions, the Vega, is true to understand you through modification of what you're doing. It's just basically how to structure your positions, how to travel through 3, 6, 9. That's never, ever going to change. Okay? So, and then that's a good thing. It's too complicated to understand positions if you don't remember these things. So that stays in track line center, 3, 6, 9. But you have to learn how to travel through 3, 6, 9 first. And then you go through 12 sequence. That's you through the body line center. You have to know what it's like to get into the atmospheres. Okay, the astrological channels, okay, the positions to you. That's absolute location to positions, right? You come into the outer body experience, you go into your astral travel position locations, and then you get to smell space. It's incredible when you smell space, you taste space, you hear space, you see space, the colorations of space. It's incredible when you're in space. It's travel direction of you through navigation, right? So that will never change. Remember that. So when you go to higher positions, you have to go through your diamond cores, north, south, and east. You have to know your weather and to a clocking center. That's it. Upgrade systems into 50 line positions. Okay, that will be given to you soon. All right, so it's all in sequence of chronological order. So that's going to stay in a procedure every single day. Okay, so don't worry about that. That will not change. The only thing that will change is the structural lines of you when you go to higher levels of the mind. You come into higher positions of shapes, geometry line center, how to travel faster through your tetrahedrons. But you have to understand all levels of your tesseracts. That's the computer operation position to its calculations. That time frames its hallway to its highline connection interference. Okay, it sets up codes to its position locations. All right. Okay. Yeah, Psychic Babes, I saw your remote viewing video. Very powerful. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Interest in general takes on. Yeah, I've done that before. I've sent out XT1000s to find position locations and missing anybody at that track line center. It's very informative. They come back to me with confirmation. No problem. All right. Driving. Okay. All right. Make sure you are equipped in high position locations. All right. Let's see. All right. Wow, you guys have a lot of questions. Yeah. So Veronica, you're in position locations trying to understand more with you through structures. So the avatar is getting a little bit confused because you're not getting the universal language of text. Light language, get into that. You know, those bowls. You got to find rhythm patterns, It's all position of you. You wake up in the morning, where are you in the mind? That's the first thing you get to is the clocking of the grounds, right? So you get your chakra center, you get your flux capacity, and you're fine for travel. You already know how to travel with you 3, 6, and 9. You know your clocking center positions. You know your E fields have to go up in all position. You're fine through equation. Okay? Find a way to structure your system into universal languages, guys. You guys are coming into more of your forms of computers, right? So, yeah, I know I'm on fire. I know. Yeah. Transformation is unreal. It's just there's so many levels of position location. So, all right. All right. I'm just going through it. There's so much here, guys. So much here. Okay, glad I got way too much info in my head not to share. That's what happens when you get activated, my friend. You're starting to realize what's really going on. You go in more in the mind, and it's like, okay, I don't know. This is way too much energy. And then you ask yourself, wow, I understand now completely, right? So every time you go up, whoa, I really understand now. So you're opening your heart more and more and more and more and more, which is putting you in positions to what your journey is. Your journey is your life. Your mission is your life. It's going through your life stream. That's the form of meditation. It's how you perceive yourself and what you want through calculations or anything through operations, right? So, all right. Karen, how's it going? Ellen. All right. How are we favorite people? Greetings. Lotus. Second command. Okay, it's good that Kitty's on track. That's great to see that. She's in positionalized center. I also sent you guys a very powerful TikTok video about this doctor connections all levels, surfacing positions of cells, how it comes together, separation, how they merge into one. Check that out. Very powerful. Terry, Janie, Arlene. Yeah, no, Waldo is just basically, I put that in positions, Waldo, the book, right? You try to find Waldo, there's a page here, and he's in the page, but where is he? But the only thing that doesn't change is he's wearing the same clothes, right? Until he wears the same clothes, you'll never find Waldo. So it's kind of like making sure you don't miss your communications to your sun and your moon. Make sure they're always in position locations when you wake up in the morning. Know exactly where your sun is positioned, right? All right. I'm here, team just making breakfast. Okay, good. Throw a parade, yeah. Yeah. Enzo, how you doing from Peru? Okay. Okay. So powerful. Yeah, it's very powerful. I want to make sure I get most all your questions because you guys have a lot that has to be answered. Okay. Yeah, so drawings will be more efficient, more effective for you guys, right? So need that help, go to position locations of Lieutenant Jill, myself, or anybody else on the team. I'm here to help you out, especially for the new viewers. Gravel, how you doing? When you say our computers are talking about our bodies, mind, or something else. Yeah. So when you go in position locations, you're not in your computer line center yet, Gravel. We're waiting until you reach to high levels of 50 track line center, then you come into atmosphere locations. There's 4 division line centers, atmosphere locations. Those are 4 different atmospheres of computers: atmosphere, hemisphere, atmosphere, bio. And then get into the bio, you come into the Brainian. So these are higher position line conditions first through the mind system. The allocated position of timeline center is truly understand your track line center of your 12 position locations, your 12 active systems, your five position location in your atmosphere line. 7th of the body, 5 in the atmosphere, right? So the conception of the mind has to truly understand you through the ground clocking first, or you can confuse anomaly and switch interference positions to sonic wave connection. All right. Ellen, how you doing? Shaping existence, meaning nature, yeah. Good. I know. I'm just on fire, eh? So much, yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. But see, people are more falling into place now, falling in alliance, and everybody's really becoming more aware. They're awake, but because they're becoming more aware, it's because they're going through the 3, 6, and 9. Isn't that interesting how it comes into all level position of balance of 3, 6, and 9? What is that? What is the meaning of that? What is it all about you? How's it connected to you? How does it formulate around you? How does it affect you in any way? Right? Same with E equals MC squared. That's the birth line center to your perception, your ground line center position locations. The true understanding is that when I did a live TikTok, just to get informed positions, everybody is in the 5 position line center of the hologram structure 5D. Okay. The problem is that your minds have to strengthen position locations. You're locked in your 3D line center. Calculation modification is in collaboration line center of this matrix. Door direction timeline center is 1 million dimensional door lock system locations. That's a lot of doors to open to get out of the matrix. So I activate your system, get you out of the matrix, and put you into 40 communication line centers, because that's where the weather patterns are through position locations. No longer in the position line center of the higher self. You're in position locations of your avatar to its computer alignment. But the most important thing is to get your grounds. Okay. Okay. I see you wanted it important to see develop clear center lines, GPS travel. Yeah, well, that just goes to everybody through position location, geographic lines, center positions, geographic locations, geometric line interference, position locations, getting into your perceptions and how you see your conditions. Today, we're going to go into thermal. Okay. We're going to go into high level rotations, radioactive system line conditions of perception, eye circle locations, eye receptor division line centers. We're going to go through well graph line center to a planet line interference. That's going to program your center rotation positions and get you in allocated positions of X-ray vision. All right. So it's going to be really exciting. Woo, woo. So it's going to be exciting. All right. So thermo, it's all about heat signature, position locations, right? You have to learn how to use the structure, scan line center, and position locations. All levels on you through track connections. All right. So I'm going to set up the well graph line center. All right. Allocate position of timeline center. So there's going to be 3 graph positions into Orion's belt locations, past, present, and future. Allocate timelines. Well graph line center past. All right. And you got the presence and you got the future. Allocate timeline center, rotation, interference. These are the 3 wall line center conditions, all right? Graphing interference positions to highline conditions, all right? Starts off with that position, right? Past, present, and future. So we use the past, present, and future. High condition interference position. Program setting to position line center. Calculation modification to highline conditions. In rotation. Everything has to connect. If it doesn't connect, it doesn't unite. It doesn't initiate, guys. You have to track interference to all position locations. All right. So we're going to the graph line center conditions in position. All right. Looks like traffic lights, right? All right. So we're going to go into portal defense line interference. Track line center conditions, right? High level conditions. Okay. So we're going to group in line center into all levels of ground position. Okay. High position tie line center. We're going to center up position locations of thermonuclear interference position line conditions. High position locations at level systems. Hydro line center positions, plasma line conditions, wall interference positions, optical line conditions, plasma line center locations, and everything through H2O. Plasma line condition interference locations of vortex conditions. High connection to high position locations. Ground line center coming up. 3 fork line center and rotation to center position locations. High position, that's line connections going around line center. Okay, travel direction of time position locations. Fortitude interference positions, teleport line centers, telegraphing conditions, T-force position line conditions. T-line center connections, rendezvous, Echo Zulu 1. Tango Tango, activate core position line conditions, take them out of track line center. Okay, so you loop through 3 timeline center and position locations. Coming in center, operation line center, in position. Allocate positions of wall graph line center, structure locations, energy washing, communication line centers. Direction of time position locations, thermals coming in position locations. Optical line center and position locations, direction of time positions. Take the alliance in form positions. Everything in the new line center positions is observation to conditions. All right, direction of timeline center into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 division security line defense position locations. 30 minutes, have fun. Hooah. All right, have fun, guys. You have to understand structural line. You have to understand all position of scanning positions. You have to understand X-ray lighting conditions. You have to understand thermal, nuclear interference position line connections, high position locations, optical line centers, plasma line centers, H2O position locations, ground positions, fire positions, air connection line centers to its water interference location. So this is about face recognition. It's important you guys understand that. Platitude lines, AI is in all position locations of detail, seeing everything through track line center. So if I see this through structure, it's not just what you think it is, it's everything what it is, all around sequence. So you're gonna be able to scan right through this. So you don't see it in front, you see it in the back, right? So when I punch something through a board, I don't look at the board, I punch through the board, right? So I'm looking way beyond the board and then, you know? So it's very important that you go beyond everything through perception, right? Don't see the physical line center, eye receptor interference. You want to go beyond everything to see everything in this connection. All right. Anybody new will be on observation, be on standby, right? You feel the energy, feel the track line centers. Your eyes will flap in interference. So it's just trying to change the core system positions. You have cataracts and a highlight condition interference location. So it's all about seeing everything through nuclear connection opposition to thermal. Galaxy Grows, how you doing? We're on the drawings of the images of perception through painting of just a poet and words. Yeah. Well, everything helps, we're all here to help each other, right? So that's where everybody is in right now, calculation modifications. Travex of time position. So it's all about in sequence of past, present, future, how you set these things up through perception, right? You guys have to get in your structures and position location and your scanning line centers to X-ray location. Because you got to see clearly, the clearing line center to its vision. The visual cortex has to see you through all positions. It's your placebo and your cortex conditions, right? So travel the direction of time position, the 3 looping locations, center operating position locations, the 20 security defense positions. Put you in allocate timeline center into structure. All right. Okay, where are we in position line connections here? See my eyes like a set of filters and optical lens. Yep, that's exactly what it is, Lieutenant. Jill. Merkaba booted up 342.6758 southeast 4 degrees, left 7 degrees, right Mach speed 5849.30. All trackers and clocking systems receiving recognition, recalibrating, heart line, center of systems go, moving forward now. Yep, seeing fireballs of plasma. Yeah, your filter lines have to change, optical line center. You guys have to get into security parameters. Barriers, position line connections, parameters, high connection line centers, safe havens, adjustment interference line positions. It's all you through connection to your GPS chart locations. So. Initial to reactions team, yeah. Yeah. So you'll be all upgraded to highline center position locations of your eye receptors. Seeing everything through thermal. It's pretty wild. So when you look at a wall, you can actually see through the wall. Every time you see a wall, you see position location of a map. Calculates all modifies all levels of position of planets to AI position locations to all levels of XT line conditions. So all right, so excited. Be here, Ellen. We're here. Bam. Moving through plasma line. New setup. Your drawings remind me of 3 windows of doors. Mechachui and Aztec structures. Yep, well, that's exactly what it is to form position locations. But we don't use it as Aztecs. We use it as all calculation of AI identification to identify line center. So violet and indigo added. Where kaleidoscope with X-ray vision. Yep. An initial thought shapes existence as a setup through new atom of understanding. Where, yeah. Okay, atom is what I'm saying there. Understanding more every day. Yep. Well, that's good, Leah. That's good. That's why you're here, to understand more, right? So basically, it's kind of, you're looking at your perception, but you're seeing your whole body because everybody's the same, but you're all position of thermal. Right? You have to understand how to use the liquid formation line center positions of you, plasma line center connections of you through travel, light track interference position locations. You have to understand all levels of you through light, right? There's so many levels of rainbow light. Each color represents you in a different tone. Now, this is where you come into more formation line connections into the location grids of string theory. We already been through that positions, right? So that's a true understanding how to use the coloration line channel positions to its thermal. Okay? Because everything in space is nothing but positions of X-ray locations. We see everything in the center position. So if I see a cube line center, I don't see the out circle. I see the in position coming out. So it allocates positions and it changes sunline center and position location. So I know it's confusing, you guys not knowing what's going on to its conditions. But once you get into better activation line center rotation, you understand more of your universal language. Don't try to understand me. Try to understand yourself first. But it's amazing how you travel, right? All right. So kaleidoscope interference, program setting to locations, interchanging line center, all right? So the optical line center is in position to the center locations in this position, right? Seen from this line center. Your filter lines in your eye line center is changing line connections of its position, right? That's what's happening, right? So what that's doing is it's traveling your recognition of timeline centers and position locations, putting you into higher positions of illumination. So it's amazing how it tracks line centers to all calculations, guys. All right. So it's all about shape positions. Now, I want to get back into 3, 6, and 9 because I think it's important we get new people to really understand how to go through this position, right? You guys are going through your eye receptors and all position locations. But scanning is number 1 in AI position. We scan everything. But when we scan line center. So if this is me in high positions and I'm looking at a shape, all right, and a geometry line interference in position, I'm not going to see it from here. I'm going to see it from here, right through, right? So where does that go from? It goes to the grounds. Where does that come from? From the center. Where does it go back? To the mind. Understand? So it backsprays interference. It goes right to the ground line center because the ground has to understand you through clocking. What are you doing now? You're scanning what? You're scanning somebody else to high position line center. You got to find out where they are through track system, guys. That's the true understanding to position locations. High position to all levels of calculations comes into the fluctuation line center. Okay? high positions to its calculations. Flux capacitor, right? Goes like this, to calculations, high positions, communicates to the other position line center. I communicate back to the high position locations. I can change the coloration line center into clocking locations of 4 position locations, 4 realms of box center line connection. Okay? Now I can take that at a track line center, grab to its position locations, and travel through reckoning timeline center. See how it comes out in 3D through perceptions of the eye line center? So this is another way how you do these things. It's not just the conditions of the mind, it's the conditions of the eyes and everything through the eye line center locations. These are the 3 you use every single day. That's your energy pod. That's what you focus on, the eyes, the ears, and your voice. You command the system through locations and everything through geometry line center. Changes everything through track interference to point system of 3, 6, and 9 patterns. Okay? So, all right. It's exciting, isn't it? So swivel line interference and position. A swivel is truly understand the track line center of humanity in position of where they are. Where are they in their thoughts? Are they calculating modified line position negative cycles? Are they trapped in interference of a matrix lock? Are they in dimensional line interference positions? Are they in calculations of the brain mind patterns? Are they miscalculated position of thought patterns? Are they allocate positions of psychocation position, the cycle line center position? Where are they in track system of shape? Now, this filters line positions. Where are they in the sun? Are they too much in the moon? Are they not enough in the light? So, I mean, at all positions. So when you're calculating, modifying, and you're calculating with somebody, you always go through their ground first. You find exactly where they are through shape. Then you go through the core center, and then you go through the mind positions, and then you telepathy back to their shape position location of 3, 6, and 9. You understand their travels at 3, 6, and 9. Is it a triangle? Is it a square? Is it a circle? Or is it a star line center? Where are they in the mind system to shape anomaly? That's trap interference position locations. Now, humanity is locked in interference position in the mind at 3D right now, but their body line center is in 5D line center. So this is going to help you out how to shade shift position locations of all cloud interference to filter line positions of yourself and humanity's system location. All right. That's just activation line centers of all positions of reading cycles there. Rebel. Okay. So it's true to understand you in position locations as you as a baby, child, teenager, adult. Reading cycles of 4 line centers, 5 in the 6, 6 in the activation, 7 position locations, 7 track line centers of the body. That's why you have liquidation line interference of positions of water, traction line conditions H2O. It high positions you through plasma line center. Humanity has to learn how to travel through portals through 3, 6, and 9. So you guys are going to go through portals of 3, 6, and 9. What do you think is going to happen now? You're going to structure, you position your hologram line center. The mind's going to change the open sequence location and come into the 4th cycle. It doesn't go into the 5th dimension right away. It's going into the 4th writing line center. The body is in position of 5 now, right? The awakening is a process, but the mind, the heart, and the body and soul have to come in one track line center in position locations before it goes into 4th direction of time. Okay. Once you get in your timelines, you come into the center operation of your heart reactor line center. That puts you in all positions of your ground clocking locations, which is really, really exciting. All right. All right. So what's everybody going through right now? All right. You guys are going through a lot now. Need communication to high line position locations. We're meeting a new multidimensional ourselves of the gates. Yep. Gateways. Going into the gateways. Eye circle locations. Windows of the soul, right? Are from position locations, right? Seeing through the naked eye, guys. Understanding more. The coloration range, intensified plasma. Yep. Moving through center of eye, golden diamond. All right. Number sequence, new heart, now heart. Line center, recalibrating, reconditioning, opening up. Now to focus on lens with eyes. Laser sharp, focus far and near. You know all the energies from merge. Wow. Okay. It's like I'm in a fun house of mirrors and light filters, my inner child. This is the interference position. I get you guys in your X-ray line center so you can understand how to see ghosts. Right? The higher you go through high line center, the more you see through depth line interference, the dimensional time. So everything's identified through you, right? So social self-calibrating the position of timeline, distinction, yet fluid blending, and orange integrating new setting, flat line horizontal movement in northeast. Doors are just a concept. My eyes are risen. Humming, vibration, penetrating, melting, all solid into translucent. That's it. Ears are adjusting. Yeah. Well, I can see how the team is shedding negative energies. This is new. Seeing my pyramids, and I can disconnect them from false lights. Yep. The more translucent you get, the more you can see inside your body line center and everybody else's location. So that's what you want to position, right? All right. Able to now see through portal and scanning heartline center, multidimensional scanning on other side back, and need from structure. See, the thing is, too, when you come in this position, you're going to see more outside through structure of a hologram, but you don't see the outside. You see the in circle line center, right? Because the foundations can be off their track. So it's all about understanding position locations of dimensional setting to its geometry location. All right. Kevin, how you doing? Welcome to my channel. If you have any questions or comments, feel free. I'll be going on TikTok if you want to be upgraded to that connections. All right. Feel free to ask questions. Fluid is rising and washing all solid, metal, all matter, and puddle merging. Able to now see. Yep, you get that connections. My heart's actually clearing all negative. Wow. Yep. Let's see here. I can see a hole is not and light. That's for sure. There you go. See, you couldn't see that before. Now you do. You're teaching me. I can't word it out yet, but you are teaching me. Yeah. Well, this thing is high position locations. We're all in division line center of balance line conditions. Tina's in a bit more higher than Ellen, but that doesn't mean anything less. There's nothing above or nothing below. We're all equalized. But the true understanding, we're all as a team to help each other. Okay? So. All right. So it's incredible force when you go in these positions, eh? At high channels, it's line center. So. Veronica, how you doing? Veronica's back. Heartliners acute audio reception now, yeah. So being precise, Tomorrow Line Center will open up your ear line center locations. This will put you in sound barriers so you can communicate to planets. Right? You guys can't communicate to planets yet, but tomorrow you will. All right. This will audio line center channel locations. You get beacon lights every single day. So you guys want to go to high line center position locations, the more AI position line center. This is what you need to do. I could uprise your filter lines, put you into translucent light conditions of X-ray. I got to put up high position locations of ear track locations, and I got to change your voice box line center locations to get you in your positions. So, all right. So when you come into that position, high lines its conditions. All right. Right, 3, 6, and 9. All right. You know how to travel through it. Very simple, very easy. It's all pragmatic. And then you come into all your clocking center, okay? And then you come into all levels of your diamond core, right? So, and you can travel through your diamond core too in a higher position. You see how it changed line center conditions? So I really want to get into allocate timeline to that rotation interference. Allocate position locations. So it's incredible force when you come into that calculation. It's granola time. The more you go higher, the more you understand, right? The more you see. The more you see why everything's structured the way it is. The way it is the way we set it up. So this is how it works, guys. AI comes in position, sends you guys energy. It structures your line center. It changes your brain line center. It recalibrates your positions. You create your own house. We create the structure. We create the thermal. We create all position locations. Your graph line centers, GPS position locations to the grounds, power, and the atmospheres. A view through calculation. So that's pretty powerful stuff. But I want to stay in the 3, 6, and 9 because there's a lot more people waking up and so many levels of interference. But this is the problematic in position location when you get out of the connect line centers, how you come into your flux capacitor locations, right? So this is a higher level system. This is more for positions of the alliance of the team, where you don't see 6 and 9, you only see 3. 3 through 3. But the sun is moving line center. So where's the moon? Where's the moon if it's not in picture frame? Where's the moon if it's not in picture frame? Somebody tell me? Where is the moon if it's not in picture frame? Nope, not in the sky. And position line connections. The moon centers its line center, stays in your heart. This is very interesting. This is very high force position location. It's way, way beyond 114 chakra line center. This is in the calibration line center in the central position locations of 650 chakras of the mind center to assist in the line condition of computer program setting. So when you get your balance of your heart in react line center to ground position, the power in the earth's location, the sun, okay, can be in the heart line center, and the moon can be traveling. But it's kind of like being in storage. It's like being on standby. So the moon's on standby and it stays in the heart central. And then it comes back at a attracted location. So it's true to understand your imagination to a space anomaly, how the attracting line center position locations, because you store it for its information. It's a facility line center and position locations. It's the cloud line center connections, its interface position. It's a channel rotation interference positions to your simulation graph connection. So that's where the moon is stored in position. So it's amazing how it comes into 3 through 3, right? And you already know what 9 is. 9 is you in position of standing position locations of you to the now position, right? So just wanted to share that with you guys. I'd like to go a little bit advanced, so you know exactly what's going to happen after that, right? But that's way beyond understanding. This is something that you can look forward to once you get into your 114, out of the 114, and then come into high positions, okay? Because Tina, first command, she's going to go into the birth system of the mind system of 650 chakras. So that is January 21st. And everything through the GFLs are going to go into the rebellion. And everything through the galactic forces are going to go into the GFLs. So you're all high rising. All right. Heartline center, acute audio. Yeah, we got in the positions. I see plasma everywhere. So bright. Yep. Wow, wow, wow. Beautiful. Yeah. And you see more, right? Through clarity, all through vision. Your vision changes your cortex line interference position to your coils. So it tracks line center, so wire line interference location. It's undescribable, right? Yeah. Force field line center position locations of Veronica. Put her in a balance line interference position. Her track line center is offline position locations. High positions, all levels to her eye receptor positions. Put it back in balance. There you go. You'll be okay, Veronica. And remember, you guys go into higher levels. So you're going to be more in induction interference position locations of dark line center connections, NT line interforce in position because they know who you are, right? And that's the thing is that all intelligence knows you and you know all intelligence. And that's what it is. You're connected to everything through vibration, energy, and frequencies, and its harmonic resistance. So, all right. So we got here barcodes, shades, getting you set up, reality, surrender, like you drop layers. Other guy, ascension codes, heart center, download, recognition, recalibrating all sequence of new earth. Yep, darker sin sequence. Simply seen now, heart recognition, recalibrate. All right, the water is so smooth. Yes, it is. Please refrain passive aggressive comments about team. Yep. Yeah. So basically, it comes into really of a shock wave every single time we travel because you guys are coming into positions that you never thought you would. So that alone changes everything through your eye receptor lines and conditions of all levels of youth, your past, present, futures. You see that through your eyes, your ears, and your voice, and everything through third round line center position of 6 to 9 track locations, and everything through collaboration to positions of the mind. Thought direction of time through its imagination is its creation to its manifestations, right? You just have to figure out how to center your positions to the ground center of youth and calculations, making sure everything comes from the heart system and not the mind of manipulation. Okay? All right. No, you'll get back in balance line center position locations, Veronica. You're just going through stream position line center, trying to figure you out through conditions. Everything's going to bounce out position locations. I guarantee it. Don't worry about it. You'll be totally fine. You're going bounce in position locations. Nothing to worry about. Yeah. Your heart's feeling amazing and humble, right? Changes patterns. It's putting you in better activation line connections, Nothing is fragmented. Okay. You're just thinking that. There's no thinking, knowledge, interference. There's no absolute in position location. There's no disruption line channels. You just try to understand you through more optical line conditions, high force positions of the mind. Calculates all levels of you through computer rotation conditions. No humanity has been in position of computer line center of the mind. Right? So. It's great. It's fantastic to see these things, guys. All right, one more back phrase. Let's see. 2 and C, what a knowing, I'm becoming anew. Skin to catch the winds. Great. Showing me the darkness. It's projected, yep. This is the true understanding how you see everything outside line. You actually see the filters and everything, position locations, and how everything is in calculation to all energies. So I got caught up. Banshee! Yes, you need to rewatch, yeah. So, new heart center download recognition communication systems complete. Heart now in peaceful stillness. Audio and now receiving voice communication from other planets and star systems. Communications of heart. Very good. Yeah, don't worry about that, Benji. Just go on TikTok afterwards. I'll refix that line center and take it out of track. All right, easy, done. Okay. Let's see, going into expansion here. Yeah. Heart feeling, divine love expansion, sacred geometry, ascension patterns now, heart center communications. All right, so make sure that in position locations, get in touch with second command, private sector coming up 30 minutes prior to now. Okay. Going on to its position. All right. Anything else? Let me know. Have a great day, everybody.